Okay. Well, first off, good to see everybody. Looking forward to kicking off this season here now that we're a little bit less than a week out. Practice has transitioned itself from a true camp mode where we're really trying to develop the fundamentals that fit into the framework of our offense, defense, and kicking game. And now it's moved into that game week mode with Rhode Island. We'll have our third Rhode Island specific practice today. And kids are doing a good job. Looking forward to going against, an old friend and Jim Fleming and their offensive coordinator, Billy Blyle, guy I worked with many years ago. So I know they'll have the Rhode Island Rams well coached. But with that, any questions? Steven?
Looking at the depth chart, the first name that kind of jumped off was seeing Seamus Shanley as the first team right guard.
Sure.
What went into that?
He played well. He played better than the other guys that were competing at that position. And, early in camp, we're like, boy, he's playing pretty good. And then day after day after day, his consistency was really high. And really, really pleased and proud of the performance he's put on tape at practice. So nothing more than earning it. That'll be a battle, just like all positions throughout the course of the season. And there's change agents there, and there's competition there. And there's always the ability to play more than one guy at any position, including, the offensive line, guard position. So, but hats off to Seamus. He's done a really good job, and I'm really proud of him.
Within his game, what has he improved on? Maybe from the end of last season?
Just everything. His consistency. He's a strong kid. Once he gets his hands up in on you, he's very good. He's improved his mobility, lateral movement in the weight room in the off season with Coach. And probably as much as anything, he's an intelligent player. He's an intelligent football player, and he hasn't had very many missed assignments, and that's probably where his edge kind of moved forward in front of Aaron at this point in time.
So what have you learned, through camp and the week? We're about to tee it up. What have you learned in these last 4, 5, 6 weeks?
Well, more than anything, but I'd say a lot about our team, individuals that have to be slid into positions and roles that'll be, probably a lot larger roles than they were a year ago. A lot of those kids on defense losing, I guess, 8 starters, however you look at it. So needed to find out a lot about, the competition level, the intellect on both sides of the ball, but their ability to learn the playbook and transition from guys that were part of the kicking game and now part of the defense or the offense. But so I'm pleased with the young corners and the competition there. I think we have 5 corners that can play. So starting on the edge on defense at corner, been pleased with those guys. At the safety position, we moved Antoine Cordy. He was a corner when he first got here. We moved him over to safety. He's done a nice job. Rodney Williams he's healthy, playing good football. Chauncey Sism, those will be the 3 guys in the middle that, we really needed to see progression made. More than anything with their learning curve and their stability to maintain and sustain, play after play on defense. And then up front, like we know we've lost a lot of good football players that played a lot of football. Been pleased with Raymond and Slayton and Samuels and Clark, both in and out in the classroom and on the football field. Thompson is a talented young man on the edge, and it's nice to see him there. I learned that'll be a position that I think he could play at a high level, backed up by Luke Arcenega, who's an intelligent young man who moved from linebacker to D-end, and he's been extremely consistent as well. And then on the other side, Donnie Simmons has been here for quite a few years, and now he has an opportunity to start. And I've been pleased with the young guys, Kadir Shepard and Amir Ely, backing up at the end position as well. So probably more than anything on the defensive side of the ball, personnel. On the offensive side of the ball, probably the schematic and the ability to install the offense at a progression where our kids could pick it up, master it 2 days, and then move on to the next step, and then repeat it 3 times through by the end of camp. And that's probably the biggest thing I've learned is just how our offense will operate and what the curveballs are from one defense to the next. And it's been good.
That's a pretty good answer.
What did Corey Winfield show you in camp
Thank
to put him ahead of Wayne Morgan for now?
What's that?
What did Corey Winfield show you in camp to kind of put him ahead of Wayne for now?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, like I said, here's the real answer. I know I've said it in the past, but depth charts, especially on defense, for me, it's more what's our pool of corners, what's our pool of defensive linemen, what's our pool of linebackers that will play in this game. From one year to the next, sometimes it's 5 linebackers for 3 positions, sometimes it's 7. And this year so happens to be the case that all 5 corners have the ability to play. And I really would not lose any sleep over which one started. So really it's a competition, but also, a team effort in that room. Being a younger secondary, I know throughout my years, if you had corners that could cover and be consistent in their coverage techniques, as well as communicate to younger safeties, you feel pretty good about it. And I feel good about these 5 kids. So really, it'd be splitting hairs to say one thing or the other. They're both very good athletes. So is Hudson and Dowles, and Wiggums had a very good camp. So we're looking forward to seeing how some of the young kids do when we turn on the lights.
I know you guys were trying to get Kendall Moore to gain some weight and play offensive line.
Yeah.
We saw him move back to tight end a couple weeks ago. Are you surprised that he's kind of managed to crack the 2 deep, moving back so quickly?
No, not at all. He's the reason that I felt comfortable giving him a shot at a position inside, knowing that he would have to continue to try to grow and gain weight, is because he's an extremely competitive young man, and I always felt like if it didn't work out inside, whether his body weight wasn't where we wanted it to be or his learning curve, that he could go back out there, because the tight end position in our offense, we do some different things with it, and there's some learning there, but he's always learned well, and he's very competitive and likes to put his pads to work, and so I didn't have a problem moving him around because he does have a pretty good football IQ. And when I threw him in at center when we had some injuries in the past, I just loved the way he competed, and so that was kind of the plan going forward, and have those change agents that you can kind of see coming. And, moving back to tight end, and he's done a nice job.
Do you think he's kind of fully caught up with the rest of the group, just as far as the mental aspect?
Yeah, he has. He'll be ready. He'll be ready to be a good contributor this year.
Time for 2 more questions.
Go ahead.
Can you kind of give us your early thoughts on Rhode Island from what you've seen, and especially since you know some of their personnel?
Sure. Well, for me, when you look at game 1, it's very difficult to predict a number of things, especially when you're playing an FCS school, because you're going to have agents of transfers coming in and that sort of thing. I saw they're going to play the junior college quarterback's going to be their starter. Had a chance to watch his highlight tapes and stuff from junior college, everything that we could find, and he's got a very good arm. Showed to have some escapability, which lends itself to probably having an ability to run the ball as well. So we have to be prepared for that. Coach Bly will do a very good job with the offensive personnel up front, and they'll be on the same page, and I don't see them making a lot of mistakes. Coach Fleming's an excellent football coach. Pete Rextus is their defensive coordinator. He's a guy from Ohio that I've known for years and years, played for Coach Tressel at Youngstown State, and he's an aggressive, his kids play downhill, they run to the ball well. They'll play physical football. They're kind of fun to watch on tape, to be honest with you. He's got them playing hard. So I think more than the personnel, I think the personality of the coordinators and the people that I know probably forecast what those groups will be. And I know we'll have a feisty Rhode Island team coming into the Dome Friday night.
Andy?
Go ahead.
Coach, what's the one thing that's really changed for you as approaching to the new season, that first game, as compared to the first couple of years for you? What's the one thing that you really wanted to focus on in particular, knowing that you've had this first couple of years as head coach, that you really need to make a move on?
Yeah, well, I'm searching for an answer so that nothing jumps out. Just trying to be consistent with what we do, trying to be smart how we practice, try to take care of the kids. Limited roster with a school, like Syracuse, similar to Stanford, in that, it costs a lot of money to go to school here. So it's difficult to get a lot of high-quality walk-ons, other places I've been. So probably just trying to make sure we have enough reps, but not too many. And then looking at each individual and saying, as an individual position coach, we have to do a good job taking care of those kids that may be banged up a little bit. and manufacture reps with moving people around a little bit. Other than that, nothing earth-shattering, to be honest with you. Just want to do a good job being extremely prepared for all the things that we can control, and then be ready to react to the things that you can't necessarily control. Probably be the best way to put it.
Any other questions for Coach?
Now that Austin and Eric have kind of continued to see some more snaps, presumably.
Say that again. I missed the first part.
Sorry, Austin and Eric, backup quarterbacks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Presumably they're seeing a lot of snaps against the first team defense when you guys go ones versus twos.
Sure.
How have you seen them kind of come along in the last week or so since we spoke?
Yeah, sure. So Eric's done a very good job. Austin's been in the system for three years now. He's got a very strong arm. Had an opportunity to play a lot of snaps compared to Eric, so we've given Eric a lot of reps in there to see what he could do as well, and he's going to be a very good football player. Extremely competitive, very unselfish, and I really like his movement skills. He's got a nice arm. When he keeps his feet underneath him, he's got a real good arm. But he's got really good feet. He can really move in the pocket and out of the pocket. And he's never really batted an eye. I like the way he comes back after a bad play in practice. He gets mad but not out of control, and he competes. We put the GoPro cam on, and you could hear as well as see what he was seeing. And he threw an interception, and he had some interesting words that he was throwing out at himself. And I had to kind of giggle because I really liked his competitive nature. He was very upset, said a few things, and then came back and said some more things at himself, which I thought was pretty interesting. And it wouldn't be anything we would have ever heard unless we had that on. He's extremely competitive, very athletic young man, and he's bright.
Last question.
Go ahead, bud.
All right, so year one, you have a bowl-winning season. Year two, you have all the injuries. And now we're looking at year three.
Yeah.
And I'm not asking for a forecast necessarily, but as you look to year three, knowing what happened in 1 and 2, do you have any vision to share with us?
No, just really our vision is as simple as this, and this is the God's honest truth. We're trying to win every day, one at a time, and see improvement daily. From our managers on the field to our starting quarterback to our defense and offensive coordinator, as well as myself, to try to focus in on truly living what we talk about and practicing what we preach, and that's just improving daily. Knowing that if you improve daily and your work gets a little bit better day after day, all those things that you want to hope for and all those things that you have a vision for down the road will take care of themselves. The vision, everybody in this room and everybody on our team could go down and put damn near the same things down. We all want to play more than 12 games. We all want to fight towards a championship. We all want to put good numbers up on offense and defense. But at the end of the day, so many times you look too far forward. In my opinion, a mistake I made, I thought last year, to be quite honest with you, Bud, and you don't stay true to what's most important. That's just simply getting better every day. And that's been our focus, and I've really liked the way the coaching staff as well as the players have kind of wore it on their shoulders and said, let's go. Did we get better today? Didn't we? What can we do better tomorrow to set up a plan to give the kids an opportunity to improve, day after day? Pretty simple, but we're trying to stay true to it. I think the simplicity of focusing on your work that way also takes undue pressure off of the players and the coaches, to be honest with you. I think you've seen mistakes over the years where people looked ahead of what was right in front of them. And I've done that over the years too, and try to learn my lessons and move forward. So, good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate that.